I respectfully invite Dr. Sekar Viswanathan, Vice President VIT, to address the gathering and inspire us with his esteemed words.
Good morning, everyone. As I look around the hall, I don't merely see principals, I see leaders who shape the foundation upon which we universities are building. You are making the foundation, we are doing the top floors, that's all. So, no, we just harvest what you sow. We are partners, the higher education system and the school education system. We are partners in the mission to transform young lives. As you might know, VIT is a great beneficiary of the CBSE system. As you know very well, we conduct the VIT Engineering Entrance Examination, VIT, and you might be pleased to know majority of the candidates who apply for VIT and who join VIT through the entrance exam are CBSE candidates. Let's give a big round of applause because of the quality of CBSE education system. We are benefiting a lot. As Dr. Rishikkumar started pointing out, there are changes which are going through, we are going through in the education system, both school education and higher education. The impact of artificial intelligence, various kinds of automation, climate change, entrepreneurship, so many things are happening in the society which is influencing our education system. We should not just ask what students should know, we should be asking what students are going to become, what kind of careers they are going to have. If you look at VIT, we don't see excellence as an event. Excellence is a culture. It's a continuous thing. Excellence is not built by big buildings or not just merely by rankings, but by the day-to-day decisions which are taken by our faculty members, staff, students, and the management. It's those decisions which make excellence. So, you might be wondering, what is the single secret of VIT? There is no single secret. It starts with our visionary leadership and a dedicated faculty and staff and excellent student body we get. We constantly want to improve. We never ever want to rest on our laurels. Now, past glory is always past glory. Past is not going to help us. Every day the landscape is changing. So we need to continuously improve and we need to embrace change. That's one of the most important points which I wanted to mention, because as education leaders, you should be open to change. If you have that mindset that I won't change, you will perish. You will become like dinosaurs. That's the biggest lesson we always remember in VIT. We need to embrace change. And the last important point which I want to mention is our unwavering focus on students. I still remember every meeting, every top decision we take, our chancellor always asks, do you have student interest in mind? Because we sit in big AC rooms and take decisions, right? Which is convenient to us as administrators. But you should always think, how is this going to impact the student? Now, I'm not saying it should be always be doing something good to the students which will spoil them. No, not that way. Which will have a positive effect on their life. So, if you put these students at the center, you will succeed. Right? Without students, we are not there. But for a student, we will not be here. So, if you keep maintaining that student focus, you will succeed as an education leader. And of course, talking about CBSE, I admire CBSE because of its conceptual learning and continuous improvement. I've looked at your systems in CBSE. That continuous improvement is what the assessment. I meant the assessment there. As you do the continuous assessment, it becomes important for student to stay focused rather than just one final exam at the end of the year. These days we are getting better and better students thanks to the systemic changes in school education. We are getting students who are more curious about learning, eagerness to learn. Of course, curiosity alone is not enough. Adaptability also becomes important. They should not just know things, right? As they grow, they should not just learn, they should be able to unlearn and relearn their skills because of the changing world. We have to prepare our students for uncertainties. Nobody ever thought a cold is going to come, right? We all survived, at least most of us survived. Are we preparing our students for such a world? The uncertainties, after COVID, you have been seeing so many changes, right? Suddenly the US changes its policy on trade tariffs and immigration. Many of the Western nations have started turning inward. They said we don't need any more people from outside, students from outside, workers from outside. How does it affect a country like ours? Are we prepared for such changes? Suddenly wars break out. That crashes many of our economies, right? The prices go up, so many impact. Are we preparing our students for such a world is a question we need to constantly ask. So, all these factors we have to have in mind. I know you don't directly determine the curriculum, but you are all influencing the system, so that's why I'm mentioning all these points to you. Talking about AI, we should not be asking whether our students should be using AI tools. We should be asking whether they should be using those AI tools responsibly, right? It should not be bypassing the learning. It's an easy way to get answers, right? But we should learn how to make them use it responsibly. When we talk about technology, technology provides information. Teachers provide interpretation. Technology generates answers, but teachers inspire questions. Technology can automate processes, but teacher builds character. No technology can replace the influence of a passionate teacher who believes in the child, even before the child can believe in himself or herself. Right? No technology can translate a great teacher. If you look at a business leader, they look at quarterly profits. Every quarter, what's the profit and all that. But if you look at an education leader like you or us here, our impact shows up only 20 years later. Right? Long after your work is done, the impact will show 10 years, 20 years later when our students go and make a change in the society. We are here for the long term. Right? We are the ones who create tomorrow's leaders. We have a huge responsibility on our shoulders, and I'm so glad that all of you could make time to come and visit us. Definitely it's not a one-way street. We want to learn from your experiences. It's a two-way street. You are here to see VIT, get exposure. We want to learn from you, and we, schools and universities, should work with each other. And as I conclude, I want to mention that buildings don't create institutions, people do. Technology does not transform education, teachers do. Policies don't inspire students, leaders do. Thank you very much.